What's going on, everybody? This is dkdynamite, and today we're going to be talking about the upcoming Conquest Challenge event, all rewards, plus even more. Definitely stay tuned. But before we jump into that, be sure to hit that subscribe button down below, drop a like, and it's been fairly crazy over the last couple of days with all the new Black Ops 6 information, but I assure you I've not forgotten about Modern Warfare 3. Multiplayer is still an absolute banger here with our 5th season. But as a reminder, there's plenty of brand new article coverage also going up on dkdynamite.com for those who want to stay up to date with all things Call of Duty, especially for those that just want to read articles instead of watching some videos. But also, as an FYI, for the rest of August, there is a big promotion happening over at Gamer Advantage. You can save 50% off any Horizon frame, and you can stack that with my code Dynamite to save a total of 60% off your order. Now, if you're looking for the best blue light protection while you're creating content or just grinding in front of a monitor for several hours a day, then check out Gamer Advantage with the link down below. Now, can we get a rip in the chat for Game Informer? Unfortunately, GameStop has decided to shut down Game Informer, which was in business for, I want to say, well over a decade. And crazy enough, I was just at a game shop like 2-3 months ago and managed to see a bunch of old Call of Duty Game Informers that I know I owned at one point in time. I used to collect these growing up, and it's sad to see the company go. I mean, I think that era of gaming journalism sadly has been coming to an end over the last couple of years. I mean, let me know if you guys collected the Call of Duty Game Informers or just Game Informers in general down below in this video's comments, because they put out some pretty good quality breakdowns of all the hottest games of the year. And I also want to give you guys an update on Ricochet. For those that may have missed out on this information, as of a couple of days ago, COD Updates did provide the following report over on Twitter. So for those wondering about the influx of cheaters to the launch of Season 5, unfortunately, there was indeed a detection issue with Ricochet. That means the anti-cheat just wasn't properly working with the start of our new season, but apparently things are back online and about 60,000 total players did get banned. And that's what I predicted when the season first started. I'm like, yeah, I think we're due for another ban wave because it's been a while, and I'm aware there was an issue in regular multiplayer through pubs, ranked play for MP. What about ranked for Resurgence or just Warzone in general? There was absolutely a problem, and like I always say when it comes to the anti-cheat, it's not a bulletproof shield, and in the case like this where the detection was bugged, then that makes things even worse. But either way, Ricochet needs time to adapt to all the brand new methods in which people are cheating, has to find out who all the new cheat providers are, and yes, you guys might have also seen Activision has went ahead and sued, I think, 2 new cheat providers. So the fact that that's going on just means that there should be a grand improvement over the rest of Season 5. But there was also an issue with PC Game Pass players popping up as Xbox users while in-game, making it harder for some folks to notice that a player that might have been cheating on a PC wasn't actually on an Xbox like the game labeled him as, but instead, the person was actually just through Xbox Game Pass on a PC. So that bug has also been fixed. Players on a PC should now be identified as PC users, which makes it easier to determine if somebody might be cheating. But speaking of updates for Modern Warfare 3, a massive one also just got discovered by PlayStation Size over on Twitter. So this person usually reports on anytime a new update, or title update I should say, did get added into the game's files. So with this in mind, right, I don't believe this is for Season 5 Reloaded. That download shouldn't be coming out for another like 2.5 weeks, but apparently this is a massive update to shrink the size of the game. The good thing about this is that this should end up releasing way before the mid-season, so it could just be a random day later this week or early next week when you see a big update for COD HQ, which apparently is going to shrink the overall size of the game. This is preparing Call of Duty HQ for not just Season 5 Reloaded at the end of August, but also the Black Ops 6 beta, which is going to be a data pack for COD HQ beginning at around the last week of August. The beta starts on the 30th, but I would expect the download for it to probably pop up when COD Next happens 2 days prior, or even sooner than that. But I think it's good if they're going to drop a big update that shrinks the overall size, then it's cool to do that not on a season launch day or a mid-season launch day, or hell, even when the beta's rolling around. Do it randomly like this week or even next week. Now, we'll of course be talking about Season 5 Reloaded in a separate video soon, but as far as another game mode that could be dropping either this week or maybe even the next, we have Arcade. Now, Arcade is going to feature a bunch of similar abilities that we saw in the Arcade playlist during the last season. You'll come across a sledgehammer that has increased melee knockback, you'll come across a minigun that gives you battle rage, a Morse sniper giving you explosive knockback effects, and even a TYR pistol that's actually akimbo and features snake shot dragon's breath, followed by coming across a push dagger with a big lunge ability, similar to Commando from MW2 2009. This is a fun playlist that I think is going to be even better here inside of our 5th season. This should end up replacing Slam Deathmatch later this week, or they'll keep that LTM LTM in for an extra week. I know the WWE event, it allows you to earn a free operator skin. That's coming to a close this Wednesday, but the LTM itself may stay in a little bit longer. Hopefully it does, because it's a ton of fun. But this arcade playlist should be the next mode that does release before Season 5 Reloaded, whereas the other game modes from the blog post aren't going to be coming out until around August 21st or shortly after it. That's Fishfection, Paintball, as well as Defuse or Destroy. We'll talk more about those modes later, but as far as the Conquest Challenge event releasing this Wednesday, the UI for it does look a little bit different from our usual challenge events, which is interesting. And this also appears to be the last actual challenge event of Season 5. The other events that are scheduled, according to the blog post, all seem to be XP focused, meaning you don't have to actually do anything in particular within multiplayer, Warzone, or even zombies. Now, once we learn more about the kill milestones for the Conquest event, I'll of course pin a comment down below, and you could also check out the link to the detonated article in this video's description. There'll be plenty of updates as we learn more in just about 48 hours from now. But for the first reward, you have to earn the holographic violence animated calling card. Over in multiplayer, you can either get kills, crossfires, and wins in free-for-all to progress this challenge. We're not sure how many. In Warzone, you could deploy redeploy drone beacons, which I don't believe spawn in Battle Royale. They're only over in Matches of Resurgence. I know you can buy them at buy stations or find them randomly in loot crates. They're the really weird looking circle disc type objects that you can throw on the ground, which will then spawn in a balloon that you can redeploy on. Pretty easy to find in Superstore or even Rebirth. But then in zombies, you can go ahead and kill mercs, get convoy key cards, loot merc camps, or open stronghold safes to progress that challenge. So I like how for each challenge for this reward, you have the option of doing several different things in one particular game mode. But then for the next reward, the animated emblem called Inside the Net, over in multiplayer, you can get kills, assists, and wins in team deathmatch to progress the challenge. In Warzone, you can obtain cards from biometric scanners, very easy to do. Or over in zombies, you can kill manglers, mimics, disciples, or hellhounds in a yellow zone to progress the challenge. Again, if you don't own Modern Warfare 3, you can still do this challenge event, but you're limited to just doing the challenges over in Warzone. Moving on to the next reward, a large decal called Don't Be Afraid of the Dark. In multiplayer, you can get kills, assists, objectives, and wins in domination to progress that challenge. For Warzone, you can complete scavenger contracts, not sure how many yet. And then in zombies, you can kill zombies in a red zone to progress the challenge. So that's of course tier 3. I love how each of these challenges requires you to go ahead and play a different game mode within the base game. That's pretty cool when it comes to the multiplayer front. But then next up, we have a battle pass token. This is going to be one tier skip. Over in multiplayer, they want you to get kills, assists, objectives, or wins in kill confirm to progress that challenge. In Warzone, they want you to activate UAV towers, which are pretty commonly found all around the map. They only cost a couple of grand to use, and they give you a good UAV ping or two. But then over in zombies, they want you to complete at least 5 contracts and exfil, or complete at least 1 contract in all difficulty regions, and then exfil without dying. So that's a pretty lengthy challenge there here for this reward. Moving on though, we have the Death's March Weapon Charm. Over in multiplayer, they want you to get kills, assists, objectives, and wins over in Hardpoint to progress this challenge. In Warzone, they want you to buy loadout drops through buy stations. And then for zombies, they want you to exfil with any Ethereum crystal or ether tool, or use Pack-a-Punch to progress the challenge. I'm curious if you could just spawn in with one in your inventory that you maybe acquired from an acquisition or a schematic, and then can you just exfil with them that way? That's what I'm a little curious about. But either way, buying loadout drops in buy stations is cheaper depending on how many players are on your team, so that shouldn't be all that bad. But then last but not least, we have the All That Follows weapon sticker. In multiplayer, they want you to get finishing moves, assists, downs, and wins in the slam deathmatch mode to progress this challenge. I guess that confirms that LTM is going to stay live in MP this week, which is great. For Warzone, I want you to trade legendary weapons at weapon trade stations. Now, I'll put an image on screen of what one of these stations does look like. There's a couple of common spawns for these over on Rebirth. That's probably where you guys are going to be looking to go ahead and trade in some weaponry. But then for zombies, last but not least, they want you to get kills with a handgun, SMG, or melee to progress this challenge. But once you go ahead and complete every single one of those categories, that means doing at least one of those challenges to earn each of the rewards. After getting all 6 rewards, you will then unlock the Mastery Blueprint. This is known as the Locked and Lucky SVA 545 skin. It looks pretty damn clean, not gonna lie to you. It's not a tracer blueprint or anything, but it still looks pretty damn good. And I will say a lot of the recent event rewards, such as blueprints, do blend pretty well with a lot of the camos that are available in game. So I'm sure this will look very damn clean with some of the recent camos that we just unlocked through Weapon Prestige, whether it's Mercury or even some of the event camos that we just got as of the last season and a half. But I totally get it. You guys might find more value in universal camos instead set of blueprints, but hey, if you guys are a fan of using the SVA, and it's actually been meta pretty often lately over in Warzone, then you'll probably like what this reward has to offer. But that is about it. This has been dkdynamite. Leave your thoughts down below in the comment section. What are your thoughts on the brand new Conquest challenge event releasing later this week for Modern Warfare 3? How you feeling about all the rewards, plus everything else we discussed? Really hope you've enjoyed, and peace out, everybody.